So good morning, October 23rd, 2014. This is CISG114, Section 2, Web Technology and Life. Today is day number 18 in the week number 9. So let's get started. Good morning and welcome back to this class. Today is day number 18 into the semester and week number 9. Okay? I would like to invite you to actively participate in class as team-based discussions during this period of problem-based learning, last learning contract. But let's take a look at the results of the responses. On Monday, I've given you the message from your fellow students who would like to say, could we extend the learning contract number 3 by 1 week? Okay, and so in this class we have 30 students, and in order to proceed with these motions, we need more than 15 students who are going to support this. So far, we just got 13, all right? So that means it's not enough to proceed with the motions. Can you do something now? Can you say your response here now if you have not said it? Because 13, I really cannot do anything. For a 30-person class, I need to have more than 15, all right? So 3 more yes or let fewer no to work it out, all right? So if you want to extend your learning contract 3 by 1 more week, that means you can still submit something up to November the 8th. You need to provide the response here, okay? Let me double check. The first yes, the second yes, the third yes. Any no? Please do change the due date because my schedule is too packed. This is Selena, okay? Because I cannot look for a yes. I need to read it, right? Okay? And then Jack said yes. And then Cindy yes. Ivy yes. Kevin yes. Vicky yes. Sue yes. Timmy yes. Ken yes. Ben yes. And no more yes. We just have 13. So. Okay, let's see. We need more yes, okay? And then now we have 14. So make sure if you support this, you need to give some responses. Otherwise, I really cannot do anything based on the students' feedback. That is in the public discussion forum for this week, okay? You have to give a response. We post this on Monday. This week. Discussion. Yes. So we now have, hopefully we have 15, and you need to give a response, okay? Otherwise we cannot do anything about this. So now we have 15, 16, okay, that's good enough. 17, all right? So now we have 17 yes. All right? So Marcus was absent last time, so you do not know this, but you should check the unit, all right? Because the whole class needs your support. So now we have 17, that will be good enough, 17 yes, that is well over the 15 students more than I. So make sure you support these motions. If you support these motions, that means you can proceed to submit your work up to November the 8th. Okay, you have 1 more week's time to do it. In other words, you have also 1 more week, 2 more classes for your team to do in-class team-based sharing. That will be a very good chance for you to earn the class participation scores, okay? So having said that, let me remind you, you need to read your teacher's message of this week, and particularly speaking, make sure your team, besides preparing your individual's artifacts, you need to get your team collaborations working ready for inspections, because your evidence of working to encompass the two selected site nodes in the third building contract must be available in your team wiki, okay? It's very important that you do the team wiki's work. And then this morning, I would like to give you back the story of Mark Zuckerberg, okay? That's about 10 minutes, I guess. It's week number 8, I guess, because we visited last week. Yeah, day number 16. So just give you back this several minutes of very important conversations, 10 minutes.
Of its new profile page will include a tutorial on all the new features, and for a while you'll be able to choose between staying with your old profile or upgrading to the new, where you'll get to tell your friends who you really are. We decided to take the opportunity of the launch to find out more about who Mark Zuckerberg really is. As Facebook becomes an intrinsic part of so many lives, how the site came to be in the first place is now the fodder of creation myths, a handful of lawsuits, at least 2 books, and a movie, all focusing on its co-founder and CEO. 500 million people give you their personal information. Do you feel that because of that, they have a right to know a lot about you personally, about your values?
Yeah, I think that because of that, we have to do a very good job of communicating as a company, really.
No, you. I'm talking about you, Mark Zuckerberg. Is it important to know who's running Facebook?
Yeah, it is.
Interest in what makes Mark tick is heightened since the release of the movie The Social Network that depicts him as a callous genius who betrays friends and principals to protect his creation, Facebook.
If you guys were the inventors of Facebook, you invented Facebook.
The real Mark vowed he would never see the film. On opening day, he changed his mind.
We took the whole company to go see the movie.
The whole company.
I actually thought it was pretty fun.
But I guess my question is, was it hard to watch for you?
You know, in watching it, it's pretty interesting to see what parts they got right and what parts they got wrong. I think that they got every single T-shirt that they had the Mark Zuckerberg character wearing right. I think I actually owned those T-shirts. And they got the sandals right and all that. But and there were hugely basic things that they got wrong too. I mean, they made it seem like my whole motivation for building Facebook was so I could get girls, or they completely left out the fact that my girlfriend I've been dating since before I started Facebook, right? So I mean, that's just like...
Wait, what? Say that again? The girl, your current girlfriend, you were dating back then?
Yeah, I've been dating my current girlfriend since before I created Facebook. Yeah, I mean, and yeah.
You know, I've heard 2 reactions. One is about you very personally, and it's not so flattering. The other is that, wow, he's a really great entrepreneur.
I get 2 reactions too, but they're actually a little bit different from the ones that you said. There's a set of people who I think have been following the Facebook story who I think had a deeper analysis of which things in the movie were true and which ones were false and all that. For the rest of people, I just think were pretty surprised and even amazed that, like, wow, Facebook is an interesting enough thing to make a movie out of, or this Mark Zuckerberg person, I'd never heard of him, like, this must be interesting. And I can't tell you how many messages I've gotten from people who use Facebook writing in to say, this movie was really inspiring to me. After seeing this movie, I want to start a company, or I want to go into computer science, or I want to study math. And if the movie had that effect on people, then awesome, right? I mean, that's great.
You almost sound enthusiastic about this movie.
That part.
That part.
When you say you had this idea...
One part he doesn't like has to do with the Winklevoss twins, Tyler and Cameron.
Excuse us for inviting you in.
In real life, there are Olympic rowers who claim that when they were at Harvard, they had the idea of a university-based social networking site first. Then in 2003, Mark agreed to work on their project, but instead, they say, he ripped them off.
When we approached him, we had been working on the idea for almost a year at that point. We had a sophisticated code base. It wasn't an idea scribbled on a napkin. It was a very sort of mature idea, and we brought him on to bring it to completion. We agreed to work on this project. He sabotaged our project, and he betrayed us.
There were other social networking sites already there. It isn't as if you had the first idea.
Well,
right?
You
admit that.
That's a typical argument that comes from Facebook, that social networking existed at the time.
Right.
Okay. We weren't individuals on separate sides of the country developing social networks unbeknownst to each other. We were teammates. We were partners.
So how did you actually find out that he was working on a different project?
We found out by reading the Harvard student newspaper.
So that's the first you realized?
Yep.
What did the article say?
It said to the effect, Mark Zuckerberg launches the Facebook.com. It described a bit about it. We turned to each other and we said, isn't that the Mark Zuckerberg that's working with us on the same project?
So they sued, and in 2008, the case was settled out of court for a reported $65 million. But the twins have since appealed, arguing that Facebook misled them about the value of the stock in the settlement. Why are you pounding away at this when you're making so much money?
This is all about principle.
Well, I have to be honest with you, it doesn't look that way. It looks like it's all about money.
No, you will have, I'm not sure anybody can quite put themselves in our shoes and understand what it must have felt like to start an idea in 2002, to approach a fellow student in 2004, to have it stolen, sabotaged, ripped off.
Recently leaked instant messages, reportedly from Mark's old computer, suggest he did deliberately delay the twins' project.
That he premeditatedly sandbagged us because he knew getting there first was everything. There wasn't room for two social networks at Harvard and universities around the country.
What do you say to people who say, come on, give the guy a break, he was 19 years old?
I know that when I was 19, I wouldn't have behaved that way. I would have, certainly not betrayed fellow classmates.
Okay, big question. You guys on Facebook?
Yeah.
Get out of here. Let me ask you about the Winklevoss twins. They sued, you settled, they're still coming after you.
You know, it's hard for me to fully wrap my head around where they're coming from on this. Early on, they had an idea that was completely separate from Facebook, and that it was a dating site for Harvard. And I agreed to help them out with it, to help them, right? I mean, it wasn't a job, they weren't paying me, I wasn't hired by them or anything like that. And then the idea that, I would then go work on something completely different like Facebook, and that they would be upset about this all these years later is kind of mind-boggling for me. Now, this is another thing that I think the movie really missed is, they make it seem like this whole lawsuit is such a huge part of Facebook's history. I probably spent less than 2 weeks of my time worried about this lawsuit at all, right?
You should have worried about it.
Maybe I should have early on, right? Yeah. But I guess the point that I'm trying to make is this has never been a big deal to Facebook or its evolution.
Do you feel any remorse at all about the twins or anything that happened with them?
After all this time, I feel bad that they still feel bad about it.
Kara Swisher, editor of a website about high tech, says she doesn't feel sorry for the twins.
I'm sorry, they got paid $65 million for one medium idea that they never could have made into anything.
Well, you sound very sympathetic to Mark as an individual, to me.
In this case, yes, because he is the entrepreneur. I think he definitely tried to screw with the Winklevoss. That's clear. He promised to do a service with them he didn't do. He did. But he also did build the business without their help.
You are famous for coining the term toddler CEO.
I am.
Mark Zuckerberg.
I did.
That was 3 years ago,
Yes.
and you told us that you thought he was inexperienced and
Yes.
way too young to run this company.
Yes.
3 years later.
Did a great job. He's a prodigy. The toddler's a prodigy, as it turns out.
When I was here 3 years ago, they were calling you the toddler CEO, and they don't say that anymore at all. This is a tough question, but try. How would you grade yourself as a CEO, as the leader of this business?
I mean, that is a hard question.
That's a hard question.
I also don't think you can ever win by answering that question. And then we've made a huge number of mistakes along the way. I always say, I just think we've made probably every possible mistake you could make.
Is there a decision that you've made that the people around you told you was a mistake, and you defied them, and you were right?
You know, I mean, the most famous one, I think, probably has to do with selling the company, right? I mean, in 2006,
right,
we had this opportunity to sell the company to Yahoo for $1 billion, and we turned that down. I think a lot of people at the time thought that we should sell the company.
Absolutely.
But, you know, I felt really strongly, and I think like now people generally think that that was a good decision.
Since that decision, the company has grown considerably. Estimates are that if there were an initial public stock offering, an IPO today, Facebook would be valued between $35 and $50 billion. Are you ever going to have the IPO? Ever?
You know,
It's like you can't let go.
You can't let go?
You can't let go.
I don't think it's letting go. Here's the way that I think about it. A lot of people who I think build startups or companies think that selling the company or going public is this endpoint, where it's like you win when you go public. And that's just not how I see it.
You're 26 years old.
No.
You're feel old?
Yeah.
Running this giant company. Your personal worth is said to be $6.9 billion. Do you ever just pinch yourself? Do you ever just say, wow, this happened to me?
I mean, it is pretty crazy.
Okay, I've just given you an episode of the insider stories of this guy, Mark Zuckerberg. And, have you watched that before? Okay. Now, let me give you time to work on your own, alright? Let me give you time to work on your own 10 minutes to get yourself ready for your learning contract number 3. As I promised, I want to give you this. The many other stories about this guy is very interesting. Okay? So, I've just taken out this story from day number 16, and if you'd like to read a little bit longer, this is another very good episode, and very wonderful, interesting stuff about this guy. So, may I just come back to just questions, alright? Now on Monday, I give you this message that some of you would like to extend the deadline of learning contract number 3 a couple more days. So I say, what if we just extend it by 1 more week? But we need the support of individual students from this class, and since we have 30 students in this class, we need to have support counting more than 15. So when I count the number of positive response, it happens that we just got 13. Okay, now we got 19, that's good. So that means, principally speaking and practically speaking, you have 1 more week time to work on your learning contract number 3. And besides that, you can have 1 more week to come up here to do your team-based sharing. That means you can do classroom participations to earn score for your home team, individual member of your team, 2 more times, okay? So this is a very good news. I'm going to add this to my teacher's message in the coming week. So may I invite you to work on your own now, and then in a minute, if you want to share, particularly speaking, your team would like to share, may I invite you today that you put here a message, okay? That my team number 05, say, would like to share, you put it here, then I will give your team a priority to share today. So now I'm going to give you 10 minutes time. I'm going to stop you at, okay, I'm going to stop giving you time at 12 and stop the team-based discussions or sharing at 12. So please count yourself down. Okay. Okay? I'll be back in just a minute. You're free to work as a team now. Walk around and talk with a member of the team to organize your work through the briefing today. And those of you who sign here on this particular public discussion forum, I will give you priority to our teams, okay? Okay, we got one team who would like to share today. Team number 5. Any more team? You still have a couple more minutes to work on it. We'll give you the time at 12. You now have 5 more minutes to get your team prepared. So we have the first team, team number 5, who would like to share. Let me see if we got other teams who would like to share. So tonight, invite team number 1 to come up here to pick your tag. We have 7 tags, and 4 of these will have to work percent. Okay? So you can pick one. Percent, alright? This is team number 1. Okay? So would you please put it, yes, over there. Team number 2. Nothing. over there. Team number 3. Nothing. Okay. Team number 4. Well, nothing. Wow. Team number 6. I think you've done a very good chance to get it. Present, right? Thank you. So team number 7. This is the one we need to do. 2. Team number 7. Team number 7. Okay, thank you. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, very much. So 1 minute. Please use the microphone. We have 2 new microphones today, and it works very good. May I invite team number 5 to come up here? Do you need to use my computer? Okay. I log out here, and you log in. Right? Let's welcome team number 5.
Good morning, everyone, and we are team number 5, and my name is Wilson, and I'm the leader of this team. So I'm going to introduce you about our role of the team. And as you see, I'm the leader of this team, and Lee Ray, this gentleman is our team scribe, and the team
liaison.
Yes.
Liaison.
Liaison is Anderson, and our team tracker is Zhang Sihao, and the timekeeper is Benson.
We find 2 silos and 2 topics as our research, and then we. This is our 2 silos. First silo is silo 04. We use social network software to do something to understand our discourse. And 5 is find some idea about metadata and tagging and follow norm. Because these 2 topics in our silo 5, so we found these 2 topics to research.
So, in our research, we divide it to 4 parts. It includes pictures, and some softwares, some animation and videos, and some reference of the websites. 咁上翻去嘅。And is the way we find the information. Yes, it about some search browser and some video site. So let's go to the next part.
So as you see, this is the the example for the plugins. The examples, so you can find the where it's in the blog or just find it. So there's the video just shows what is our team is talking about.
What is tagging? Tagging is simply one way of categorizing content that you want to find in the future. A lot of people are already familiar with these folders or subfolders of some kinds of files. Well, tagging is just a different way of accomplishing the same sort of thing. Folders and subfolders tend to work well if you have a well-structured way of organizing your files, whereas tags tend to work well if you don't. Let's look at an example of using both folders and tags. Let's say I'm shopping for a new car, and I narrow down my choices to 3 new cars with each one. First, let's see how I might use folders to organize my work. For each of the new cars I'm looking at, I want to see the information on the website. I want to check out the reviews on edmunds.com, and I want to read the online reviews. And for the used cars, I want to do pretty much the same thing, but I also want to organize the listings I find for cars that are for sale online. So I first create a directory.
So since our time is limited, so we stop the video here. Thank you for listening to our presentation.
Okay, so you have selected the 2 side notes, and you have a proposal, and you have divided the work among different roles. Thank you very much for team number 5. We are looking forward to seeing more work from your team collaborations wiki. Okay, so the second team, it's team number 1. Are you ready, team number 1?
Team 1, and it's the second time for us to stand here and give you a presentation. And let me introduce our team to you again. I'm the coordinator, Patty.
I'm Kathy.
Oh, I'm Kelly.
I'm Cindy.
And last time we mainly introduced our proposal and also the first team meeting time. So this time we want to mainly focus on our progress. It's the second meeting time and also the revision of our proposal. Because we didn't know we have to choose 2 silos in the learning contrast tree, and after discussion, we add these 2 to have a further study on. Then let us introduce Cassie introduce our second meeting time.
Hi, I'm going to talk about the second meeting. and it's on yesterday 1:30 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. in E6 Central Teaching Building. And we were all attended the second meeting, and Cindy did a minutes taker. And Cindy and Patty have done some preparation work. Cindy did equipment and materials needed, such as recorder, computer, notebook, timer was ready for the meeting recording. And Patty connected laptop to TV, setting display to show the screen to the rest of the team.
Then let me introduce the second part. And due to the confusion of the meaning of CILOS, I introduced the 6 CILOs required to other team members. After the discussion, we chose CILO1 and CILO6 for learning consciousness. And we show the description here. And CILO1 is conduct discourse to make sense of IT in today's and knowledge society. And CILO6 is work productively as part of a team and communicate and present information effectively in writing and oral and electronic form in a collaborative environment. And then 3, we look in the detail in teacher's message and we discuss it in ethics. And then during this period, we collect several confusing parts that we planned to ask professor after class. And next part, and let my partner to introduce to you.
Each pair read the reading list of week 8 to 10 and choose their topic after pair discussion. The result as follows. Pair 10 choose what is the e-learning from week 9, and pair 13 choose the what is web 2.0 is from week 10. And then I remind every team member the deadline of online journal we set by ourselves, which was by this Friday midnight. We check whether all the important points are recorded in the notes. And assign work after every member to complete after class and confirming the time for online discussion and next meeting time. The next meeting time will be held at the Study Commons at E6 on October 29th. That's all.
Thank you very much. And you got yourself quite well organized. But I just have a question. Wow, your next meeting is on October the 29th. Today is October the 23rd. So 6 days later, right? So in between you have a lot of work to be coordinated online. So may I invite team number 6?
Good morning, everyone. We are Team 6, and I'm the the checker, shut it, and just ordinator, Selena, and the time marker, Mavis, and checker again, Julio. Now we are going to show you the wiki that we have made in our pages.
So hi, I'm Selena, and I'm the team coordinator, and this is what we have done for our learning contract number 3. This is our team wiki that I have set it up for the entire team, and it's a little bit different from what Dr. Vat has asked us because I would try to make it more convenient for my teammates to understand and get the work done. So I have put this information link here where all the information of the team member roles and silos has been selected and all the important notice that I would need my teammates to take note on. And then in here, as followed by the instructions, are the individual space, the pair space, and the team space. In each of the individual space, I have talked to my teammates about them having to put all the informations in there. It's kind of like their own individual workspace where they will just fuse all their knowledge and all the information that they have tackled in, and then discuss it in the pair space, and then all that they have discussed in the pair space to be discussed and shared in the team space. And in here in the team space, there has been a bit of important notes here too. And then this is what we have discussed on, because our plan is to tackle each topic one by one so that we would have a thorough understanding of the topics. So this is the 3 questions that we have set it up. What is e-learning? What are its benefits? And is there any disadvantage of e-learning? And now, each respective of my teammates are going to present each question with its answer.
So I'll introduce what is e-learning. And e-learning is described learning by the use of computer linked to the network. And a learning environment where electronic devices plays a big part of the education system. And due to the popularity of e-learning, and many business, education, and organization uses the e-learning system and provides online classes or online training. And e-learning also includes distance learning.
This is Charlotte, and I'm going to talk about what are its benefits of e-learning. Since e-learning can be done in a distance or at home, although you are far away, and you can also do a job. And it can help in saving your time and money that is spent every time you have to travel to the work or place at the other school. That's convenient and effective of learning, since it ensures that we can all gain the knowledge and save time and money. To me, those to us, and there are the factors that why most of them would choose these learning methods. It helps the students and workers to self-graduate and discipline, since they are responsible with their work. This shows them the cause and the effect of procrastinating and lacking in their duty as a student or a worker. And Julio will talk about this disadvantages.
Now I'm talking about disadvantage. Computer are not perfect, and so it is only more of an aim than a main resource. Students should try to communicate face-to-face with the professors or classmates to build their relationship and make sure there is no misinterpretation. This doesn't really justify the grading system, since the situation could be students who lack skill in technology could be smart in the subject that is being tested in the net but not be able to work with the system.
Before we end this, I'd like to remind what is our silos. So here, pair 5, which is Julia and Charlotte, will be doing silo number 4, which is about how social networking or social media affects, or what type of linkage is there between education and social media. And pair 6, Mavis and me, we're going to do silo 1, which is connecting IT knowledge into society. So we have chosen e-learning as the target topic. And in here there will be a link for my group mates, my teammates. So it will be more convenient for them and reminding them what type of silos and SLO and all the other things that they have to tackle into accomplishing and writing a successful wiki and discussion. So thank you. That's all for Team 6.
Thank you, Team 6. And may I invite team number 7 now to be on the center stage?
Good morning everyone. We are Team 7, and throughout our discussion, and we decided to choose the topic from 005, that is e-learning, and also the topic from 004, and it is for astronomy. Maybe let me have a brief introduce about e-learning. Just wait a minute, sorry. Maybe I'll pass the mic to Emily.
Ivy and I is the pairs 04, and our pair topic is e-learning. I think e-learning includes many types. The e-learning can be used widely. For example, lots of big companies use the e-learning to train the employees. The employees can use the e-learning to have more professional skills. And I think e-learning is connected with the computer and other electronic instruments.
And we can basically divide it into 3 parts. That first we should find out the definition and how e-learning is applied in nowadays life. And second, we can find out the advantages and disadvantages about e-learning. So from using the practical examples nowadays. And finally, we can discuss how to improve e-learning furthermore to benefit us in the future. So next, we'll let another pair to have a explain about their skill.
Okay, here are some of our details in our learning contract 3. Thanks all.
Okay, thank you very much for this very brief briefing. Now we are at 12:25, so it's a very good time for us to take a good break and then focus on the questions of individual teams. And I will highly recommend that you continue to work as part of your team now. Now I'm walking into the team who have some questions for me, right? Yes. And how do you save the file from the submit? And I can read the file and watch the file. Using just by watching YouTube video. Using the video that's it's called Voice over Audio. And today, the initial contribution has Actually, there's a tease. I use the same font, but I include this link still so this is okay? This time we need to create one self-assessment executives. So give them a script here. To create, yes, to create one for each argument. You can put it in the same table. This is central. All right, very good questions. I got very good questions so far. And now it's 5 more minutes to 12:45. If you still have questions, I can help answer your questions. All right. Oh, yes, yes. Sorry, I have not taken attendance. Sorry. Thank you very much for reminding me. Anyway, I think you can help me. Okay, Beatrix, thank you. Ben, Ken, Tim, can you do? Cindy, okay. Patty, yes. Wait, yes. Emily, yes. CO, yes. And then Selena, yes. Stanley, thank you. Margaret, yes. Carly, yes. Tinny, yes. Wilson, yes. Sue, yes. Kelvin, are you here? Thank you. CC, yes. Nathan, thank you. Vicky, yes. Kathy, thank you. Cindy, thank you. Julia, yes. Jack, yes. Benson, yes. Anderson, yes. Karim is not here. Ivy, yes. Thank you very much.阿蕭，我解答埋你個問題先，唔好意思啊你。
似話，即係好似咁啦，即係我揀咗一個有條嗰個，佢依度又有 photo share 嚟嘅 RF。
每一個你都要照顧到㗎。
每一個都要照顧。
即係你除咗照顧 photo share，你要照顧RSS 㗎。咁所以合作就有一個大啲嘅照顧到 RSS 啦。
咁如果加 silo 咪全部都要做？
嗱，呢個就新睇啦，佢有 differentiate 嘅 application content 嘅，咁即係全部你都要攞出嚟啦。其實就唔係好多嘅啫，嗱呢度最主要就係呢啲大家 match 嘅 software 啦，而家 shop 啦，呢嘅主要啦，咁然之後咧就 under 呢三個最主要嘅 application learning 啦，而家同埋 university 三個，因為佢你喺 learning 裏邊都可以有而家 shop 上。就唔係話即係將佢好零散大嘅。
咁呢啲 related 咧？
嗱，呢啲你其實個問題唔大，因為好話如果你做呢一個 silo 嘅時候，我做老師會話俾你聽，我呢個 course 嗰啲唔係咁有關嘅，呢啲你唔需要揀嘅，全部揀曬。你揀咗呢個即係等於揀咗做咗呢個。明白？即係凡係 高點聽到啲 out 或者 CLO 嗰啲，你唔需要嚟做，你只係需要揀 CIO。你揀咗個 CIO，你睇翻隔離咧，即係話俾你直接做緊個 A。呢個咧就同 A 有關係，其實同 G 到 PLO 有關係。即係呢個係我嘅 design。你最主要係 focus 喺 design 嗰度，得唔得？Okay, that's it for today's CISG 114 Section 2 Web Technology and Night. So much for today on Thursday until next Monday.